suppose you could say that my life started and ended like this.
Calvin, you must tell them more than that. All right, let me explain. It was very nice of Papa to say that his life began holding his razor, because that's how I first saw him when I was a teacher at Clark Institute in Northampton, Massachusetts. But let me tell you how we two Vermonters ended up in Massachusetts. George M. Cohen may have claimed to have been born on the 4th of July, but Calvin actually was, in Plymouth Notch, Vermont in 1872. When he was 12 years old, his mother died.
The greatest grief that can come to a boy came to me.
Calvin carried her picture in his wallet for the rest of his life. Although not an excellent student in school, Cal did graduate from Amherst College, then came to Northampton to work in a friend's law office. Finally, he was admitted to the bar and began to be involved in local Republican politics. He was staying at a boarding house, which was right next door to Clark Institute. Now, I had been born in Burlington, Vermont in 1879 and attended the University of Vermont, where I founded the statewide Phi Beta Phi sorority and became its president. Later on in life, I would become president of the entire Eastern region. I like sports, love to ice skate, dance, and generally have a good time. I was active in the Glee Club and even performed in school plays. An acquaintance of mine was administrator at Clark Institute for the Deaf, and I went there to teach. One day, I was watering the flowers when I looked up and saw the strangest thing in a window of the boarding house next door. A young man standing by the bathroom sink. He was shaving, wearing only his long johns and a brown derby on the top of his head. It was the funniest sight I'd ever seen. I laughed out loud hysterically.
I wore the derby to keep an unruly curl out of my eyes. The darn thing would keep falling down. I glanced out that window to see from where the laughter was coming from, and I decided to meet that girl with a sense of humor. And meet her I did. A year later, I told Grace, "Grace, I'm going to be married to you."
And I readily accepted. As one friend observed, having taught the deaf to hear, she's now going to try and teach the dumb to speak. Against my mother's wishes, we were married. The wedding taking place in the parlor of my parents' home on October 4th, 1905. I was 26 years old, Calvin was 33.